This is section 10.7, and we are using the discriminant. Okay, so first of all, you're probably asking, what is the discriminant? Well, if you remember, this formula is the quadratic formula, and we use that to solve quadratic equations. The discriminant is just the part under the square root. So b squared minus 4ac is also called the discriminant. Now, we touched on this when we did the quadratic formula, but that part is important because it can tell us whether a quadratic equation has two solutions, one solution, or no solution. So remember I said if b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, that's going to mean that we have a negative number under the square root. And if we have a negative number under the square root, then it has no real solution. Okay, meaning it's not going to cross the x-axis at all. But we can take that one step further, and we know that if b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, if it's some number, some positive number bigger than 0, then our quadratic function definitely has two x-intercepts. Okay, because you're going to be able to take a square root of that number and get the positive and the negative value. So if the discriminant is greater than 0, that tells us that we have two solutions, or two x-intercepts, or two zeros, or two roots. If the part under the square root is equal to 0, if it's exactly equal to 0, the square root of 0 is just 0. We don't have positive and negative 0. So what that tells us is that we're always going to end up with exactly one x-intercept whenever b squared minus 4ac equals 0. Alright, so for example, we can look at each one of these quadratic equations and figure out how many solutions it has. So remember, b squared minus 4ac is our discriminant. Well, in this case, a equals 1, b equals negative 6, and c equals negative 7. So b squared is 36 minus 4 times 1 times negative 7. Negative 4 times negative 7 becomes positive 28. So 36 plus 28, that's definitely going to be greater than 0. So that tells us that this has two solutions. Okay, the second one, again, a is 1, b is negative 6, and c is 9. So we have b squared again is 36 minus 4 times 1 times positive 9. Well, 4 times 9 is 36, so you end up with 36 minus 36, which is 0. And if it's equal to 0, remember that means it has exactly one solution. Okay. And then for example 3, again, a is 1, b is negative 6, and c is 12. So we have 36 minus 4 times 12. 4 times 12 is 48. 36 minus 48 is going to be negative 12. So because it's less than 0, we have a negative number under the square root. It has no solution. And that's it for this section.